like right there.
Perhaps the craziest video in aviation history was captured near the Continental Divide near Devil's Thumb when a Cessna 152 attempted to cross this ridge in the middle of the afternoon on July the 4th. Let's check it out.
There's a plane. Oh my God. It's like right there.
At first, I questioned the authenticity of this video as the snow here on the side of the mountains reflects off the bottom of the aircraft, giving it that sort of MS 2020 simulator look. But when you see all the witnesses in the video and the dog chasing the aircraft down the mountain, it's got the Blanco Lirio stamp of approval of being a genuine, authentic video. Here in the Sky High News serving Grand County, Colorado, they've got some pretty amazing still photos of this incident. Again, you can see that snow reflecting off of the bottom of the wing. Note the full up elevator application here at this point. Pro tip, remember, if you are at 0G, you cannot stall the airplane. You cannot stall the airplane at 0G. You are merely falling. On July 4th, while hiking to Devil's Thumb, Jason and Tyler Dunn saw what appeared to be a plane almost crashing into the ground below. The father and son are hoping that the video Tyler captured gets seen by the pilot who is flying. Oh, he's seen it all right, along with millions of other people on social media, including any potential future employer. Jason, who's a former pilot, wrote in a Facebook post that it was clear the plane was struggling to clear the saddle. Jason also said in the post that there's a chance this plane came from the Boulder area. We got the ADS-B data we'll share with you in a second. The video shows the plane diving incredibly close to the ground in between a valley between sloping mountains. Tyler said that for a second the plane appeared to be headed towards him before the plane made the effort to turn around in the valley, which was captured on the video. The old deadly attempt to turn inside of a box canyon when you've been outrun by the terrain. We could easily see that he wasn't high enough to clear the top and that he was beginning to stall. Right before he hit the shelf, he stalled and nosedived, and we all thought he was going to hit the ground. And there's another incredible still video from the video showing just how close he got to the ground. You can only tie for second place for low flying, and he nearly broke the tie right here. In other parts of the video, it looks like he was even closer to the ground than this. Connor Smith was another hiker who captured photos of the close encounter. Tyler and Jason are hoping that by sharing the video and photos that the pilot will stumble upon them, oh, he'll see it all right, and see the impressive maneuver that had everyone on the edge of their seat. We're hoping that the owner sees it, as he might want the video, Tyler wrote. Oh, he's going to get the video all right, and the inevitable Blanco Lirio review of just how stupid this flight was. Let's check it out. The N number has been tracked down to November 65440, a Cessna 152, and here's the ADS-B data on Flight Radar 24 on a flight from the Rocky Mountain Municipal Airport near Broomfield, Colorado, all the way over to Rifle, Colorado. That's right. As if he didn't scare himself bad enough, he continued to fly and made another attempt over the Continental Divide over 11,500 feet in a Cessna 152 solo to make it all the way over to Rifle in the middle of the afternoon on the 4th of July in Colorado. And the word on the streets is this was a young CFI with about 1,400 hours going out to build flying time, and that this aircraft is available to rent at a local flying school that has relatively cheap flying rates, so it's a good way to build time. But this is not a good way to build time, and this is one of the peeves I have about the 1,500 hour rule, minimum rule, before you can get on with the airlines, is so many young pilots are going out getting bored and doing stupid things in an effort to build up 1,500 hours just before they can begin to apply to the airlines. Devil's Thumb Pass, where this incident occurred, is at nearly 12,000 feet. The service ceiling of a Cessna 152 is only about 14,700 feet. Couple that with the density altitude, and there's no reason anybody should ever be up in this terrain, this close to this terrain, at this time of day in that sort of an aircraft, particularly with the strong westerly winds blowing right over this pass. What is that going to cause on the downwind side? A big downdraft on the downwind side of this very high altitude pass. And another thing, basic mountain flying 101. Besides being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong sort of equipment, you never attempt to get over a pass like this, like any pass, at a 90-degree angle. You always got to leave yourself a way out, and you always got to favor one side of the canyon versus another. And here he is going for the low part of the saddle, putting himself nearly right in the middle of the valley and attacking it from a 90-degree angle. So here he approaches at 11,700 feet when he needs to be at least 12,500 to give himself a minimum of 500 feet to clear this terrain. He's not climbing above 11,700 feet, bucking a big headwind at just 61 knots. He's bouncing around between plus or minus 300 or 400 feet per minute in the turbulence and the winds. 57 knots. Look at those variations in the vertical speed down here. Gets right up to it here. 41 knots minus 1,088 feet per minute. He's into the stall and he's falling. He gets the turnaround. Did you see that spike up there? Up to 2,000 vertical feet per minute rate of descent as he literally fell off the edge of the cliff there. And then miraculously, through the benign flying aerodynamics and the inherent stability of the Cessna 152, again, at 0G, you're just falling. You're not stalling the aircraft. But eventually, you got to begin your recovery and begin demanding some angle of attack out of those wings. It looks to me like he just held full up elevator all the way down, and through just a minor miracle of modern aerodynamics, he was able to recover the aircraft without stalling it nor hitting the terrain. And the most amazing thing to me is that he goes back and does it again. He didn't learn his lesson. No, he turns around right over here by Rawlinsville and attempts to cross the mountains again. Let's see where he crosses at what altitude he crosses the mountains over here. He now attempts Rawlins Pass, which is at about 12,000 feet, and this time he's approaching it at 12,500 feet, just 500 feet to spare, again bouncing up and down plus or minus 300 feet per minute in the strong westerly winds, and he crosses the pass at 12,500 feet, giving him just 500 feet to spare in the middle of the afternoon on the 4th of July. The pilot then goes on to make what appears to be an uneventful landing at Rifle, Colorado, on the other side of the Continental Divide. If we download the KML data onto Google Earth, we can see the 3D view as he attempts to climb over this saddle, but he never did get to a high enough altitude to get over it. And it looks like he was initially remaining to the right side of the canyon, initially giving himself a way out, but he waited much too late to make the decision and ended up stalling and falling and just escaping out here to the left. And here's his second attempt over Rawlins Pass, and it looks like he hit a big sinker right there just prior to successfully making the pass. Kids, this is no way to build flying time. This shows an incredible lack of respect for aviation and an incredible lack of ADM or aeronautical decision making. To take a Cessna 152 into the mountains even if it was earlier in the morning, under these sort of conditions, high density altitude, pretty stout winds over these passes. You know, you can get the AWOS readings of the winds over these passes before you attempt it. But just to go attempt this sort of flying to build flying time is no way to build flying time, and shows an incredible lack of respect for aviation. This channel is rife with examples of young pilots flying into box canyons that they can't get out, resulting in fatal accidents. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.
There's a plane. Oh my God. It's like right there.